sand, they drift away when winds of sorrow start to play. But truth and love are roots that hold when everything turns dark and cold. I felt the break, I felt the loss, I've carried tears, I've borne the cross. Yet even when my faith was gone, I found my strength. Still warm, voices drift softly through the house tonight. Snow rests quietly upon the pines, and the world feels smaller than it did before. So many roads, so many years, so many names carried by the wind. From a window in winter, I watch the evening glow, thinking of the places I wounds the passing years could never do. The lights on the tree shimmer in the window, pulsing soft, and the whole street seems to hold its breath just to watch them shine. Between memories and snow, I find my voice, a quiet peace still living deep in us, and a fire lights within my heart, gentle, unafraid, like a beacon shining through the longest winter night. It's Christmas, and even when life runs fast and wild, there's a light that glows and calls me home in the silence of winter. I find who I am, and let the little fire grow softly, slowly. I cross the ocean carrying ghosts, medals of iron, wounds no one knows. The drums had faded, the war was done, but every night I still heard the guns. I drowned the silence in cups of fire, trying to bury an old survivor, a soldier lost inside his name, searching for something beyond the pain. Far from the flags, far from the crowns, I found a road where my armor fell down. Beyond the battlefields, beyond the smoke and steel, I found the truth no victory could bring. Among forgotten hills where silence taught me stillness, I learned that strength is more than conquering. I came to teach them war, but learn what living's for. Beyond the battlefield. The mountain wind spoke a different tongue, yet somehow I understood everyone. Honor wasn't written in commands, it lived inside ordinary hands. The sword was sharp, but the heart was clear. Men faced death without living in fear, and every sunrise seemed the strongest man survives. Now I know the strongest man arrives alive. Not when he wins, not when he reigns, but when he finally remembers his a chance encounter, nothing planned. A crowded room, a stolen conversation, and suddenly the future changed its hands. You spoke like someone who had always known me, like we were finishing an unfinished song. And for a moment every road around me felt exactly where I belonged. But somewhere above the city lights, invisible hands were drawing lines. They could control the roads ahead, but not decide where my heart would tread. They could rewrite 1,000 stars, but not erase who we truly are. And when destiny whispered no, I still couldn't let you go, because when you are written, others are earned. How is this even possible? After everything we've been through, life came rushing, broke us down. What did we do so wrong? You've changed from day to night. You've never been like this before. Lies upon more lies. Every word you say cuts deeper than before. Our love was made of stone. Now it's nothing but dust. Feels like even God's abandoned us. When you changed, I changed. We were mirrors of each other's pain. But I blame my